You have been trying to get rid of the lizard wrong, and that is why it keeps coming back. You chase it off the wall, it returns the next night to the exact same spot. You spray something, it is gone a week, then it is back. And you have decided the lizard is just part of the house now, something you live with. It is not. But the reason it keeps beating you is that you are fighting the lizard. And the lizard was never the thing you needed to fight. Let me tell you the one fact that changes everything. The fact every spray seller hopes you never work out. The lizard is not in your house for the house. It is there for the food. And its food is the insects, the mosquitoes, the moths, the small flies, the ants, that gather on your walls and around your lights at night. The lizard is a hunter, and your wall at night is its hunting ground because that is where the prey is. Kill the hunting, and the hunter lives on its own, because no animal stays where there is nothing to eat. That is the whole secret. Everything else I tell you is just detail hung on that one bone. Lizards come back if the food and the warmth and the gaps are still there. They're stubborn and they adapt. What I can give you is real, and it is better than a false promise. Cut their reasons for being there, one by one, and you will go from a wall full of them to seeing one rarely, and the rare one you can put straight back outside. Honest is more useful than impressive, so that is what you get. My people are the Samburu, in the dry north of Kenya, where lizards on the wall are simply part of life and always have been. We live close to the ground and close to the animals, and we learned long ago which creatures to fight and which to leave be. And the truth about the lizard is one most people in your cities have backwards, so let me say it plainly before I show you how to move them. The house lizard is not your enemy. It is one of the best friends your home has. Every night, it eats the mosquitoes that would bite your children, the flies that would walk on your food, the moths and the small crawling things. A wall with a lizard on it is a wall with fewer mosquitoes. And where I come from, fewer mosquitoes can mean the difference between a well child and a sick one. So understand what you are doing when you clear them out. You are firing your free pest control. That is your choice to make, and I will help you make it. But make it knowing the lizard was working for you, not against you. For that reason, everything I show you moves the lizard out. None of it kills it. You do not poison a creature that was protecting your family, and the poisons sold for it are the worst of both worlds anyway. Bad for your home and aimed at the wrong target. So here is the work, and the first part is the part that actually matters and the part everyone skips because it is not a quick spray. You go after the food. The insects. Look at your house at night. Where are the lizards? They are around the lights. The bulb by your door, the light in the kitchen, the lamp by the window. That is where the moths and the mosquitoes and the small flying things gather, drawn out of the dark toward the glow. And that is exactly where the lizard sits and waits, because you have laid its dinner table for it. So the single most effective thing you can do, the thing that strikes at the root, is to deal with that gathering of insects at your lights. Change what your outside lights do. A bright white light is a fist call to every flying insect for a good distance around, and it pulls them to your walls and doors all night. A warm yellow light pulls far fewer. So change the bulb by your door and your porch to a warm yellow one, or better, an insect-resistant bulb made for exactly this, and you will see the cloud of insects around it shrink. And the lizards follow the insects, so they thin out too. Keep the bright lights that sit near doors and windows off when you do not need them. Do not light up the outside of your house all night like a market store, because every hour it burns it is calling insects, and the insects are calling lizards. If you must have light by a door, put it a little away from the door rather than right over it, so the insects gather there and not at your threshold. Then, close the door between the insects and your rooms. Mosquito screens on the windows and doors, fine mesh, do two jobs at once. They keep the insects out, which starves the lizard, and they block the lizard's own way in. A torn screen is worse than none, because it is an open invitation with a polite face. So mend the tears and close the gaps at the edges. This one step, screens that actually seal, does more over time than any spray, because it cuts the food and the entry together. And clean for the insects, not just for show. The small flies and ants that feed the smallest lizards come for crumbs, for the sweet film in the bottom of a bottle, for food left open, for the damp under a leaking pipe. So keep food covered, wipe the crumbs, keep the bin closed, Fix the drip under the sink. Mosquitoes breed in standing water, and the leak indoors is a quiet mosquito factory that feeds the lizards on your wall. Every insect you deny is a meal the lizard does not get, and the lizard that goes hungry on your wall for a week moves to a better wall. This is slow and glamorous, and it is the part that works. The sprays are exciting and useless. The cleaning is dull and decisive. There is one more thing that holds them, beyond the food, and it is shelter. The dark, still, hidden places where a lizard rests through the day and hides when you come near. A wall crowded with hanging frames and clutter. The dark gap behind a cupboard pushed flat against the wall. The space behind a wall clock, behind curtains, under piled boxes, behind the refrigerator where it is warm and dark and never disturbed. These are lizard homes inside your home. A bare, open, well-aired room with light reaching its corners and a little space behind the furniture gives a lizard nowhere to feel safe, and a lizard that cannot hide does not stay. So pull the furniture a hand's width off the wall, so air and light reach behind it. Clear the clutter off the walls and out of the corners, and open the curtains by day. You are not just cleaning, you are taking away the shadows it lives in. The warm, dark, undisturbed corner behind a heavy appliance is the single most reliable place to find them, and the single most overlooked. Now, once you have started starving them, you push them the rest of the way out with smell. And here the old village ways and the modern advice agree completely because they are the same ways. Lizards have a sharp sense of smell, and there are certain strong, sharp smells they cannot stand and will move away from. These are real, and you likely have them in your kitchen right now. Garlic and onion are the first. The sharp sulfur smell of them is one a lizard avoids. You can hang a few cut cloves of garlic near a window or a doorway where they come in, and refresh them when they dry out and lose their punch. Better, crush garlic or onion into water, let it sit, and spray that water along the entry points, the window edges, the cracks, the corners where you see them sit. They will avoid the treated places. It is cheap, it harms nothing, and it works as a barrier at the doors. Pepper is the second and stronger one. Black pepper, or chili, or cayenne. The heat in it, the thing that burns your own mouth, irritates the lizard's skin and breathing, and they keep well away from it. Mix a few good spoons of ground pepper or chili into a bottle of warm water, shake it hard, and spray it into the corners, along the skirting, around the window and door frames, the access points. Do not spray it where you prepare food, and keep it away from the children's reach and away from your own eyes, because the same heat that drives the lizard will sting you. Used in the right places, the entry points and the dark corners, not the kitchen counter, it is one of the strongest smell barriers you have. And there are the plants and oils, which do the same job and make your house pleasant while they do it. The strong-scented herbs drive lizards off. Peppermint, eucalyptus, lemongrass, and the bitter herb that in parts of India they call by its own old name and have used against creeping things for generations. Grow peppermint or lemongrass in a pot on the windowsill, or take peppermint or eucalyptus oil, put 15 or 20 drops in a bottle of water and spray it around the windows and doors and corners. It keeps the lizards back and your rooms smell of mint and eucalyptus instead of poison. Of all the smell methods, this is the one I would lean on most for indoors because it is gentle to you and sharp to them. Now I have to be the honest neighbor again, because there are two famous tricks for this that you will be told work, and the truth about them is muddier than the sellers admit. The first is the eggshell. You will hear that you place broken eggshells in the corners and on the windowsills, and the lizard, smelling them, believes some larger creature that lays eggs is near and flees in fear. Many people swear by it. But the honest truth is that it gives mixed results. For some it seems to help, and for others the lizard simply ignores the shell, and there are even cases where a lizard takes shelter behind the shell rather than fearing it. So I will not tell you it reliably works. Try it if you like, it costs nothing, but do not lean your hopes on it, and do not be surprised when the lizard treats your eggshell as furniture. The same goes for the peacock feather, told of in my part of the world and across India. The idea that the lizard fears it as the eye of a predator. It is beautiful and it is old, and it may unsettle a lizard a little, but it is not the thing that clears your house. The food and the screens and the sharp smells are what clear your house. The eggshell and the feather are stories that sometimes help at the edges. And one more honest warning, sharper than the rest, because this one matters. You will read that certain powders, baking soda is the one most often named, and others, will kill a lizard if it eats them, and you are told to scatter them about. Leave that alone. There is no good evidence it works. The lizard is far more likely to simply ignore it than to die from it, and even if it did, you would be back to killing the creature that was eating your mosquitoes, and scattering powders into the corners of a home where children crawl and food is prepared. It is a poor idea on every count. We do not kill the lizard, we make our house a place it does not wish to be, and we let it walk out to a better one. That is cleaner, it is kinder, and it actually works. It helps to understand their seasons too, because it tells you when to act. A lizard is a cold creature, it cannot make its own warmth, it takes it from the air around it. In the heat it is quick and active and hungry and hunting your walls every night, in the cold it goes slow and sluggish and hides away, barely moving. This is why you see far more of them in the hot months, and why the hot months are exactly when you should do all of this work, before their numbers build. It is also why a sudden cool draft makes the one on your wall go still and clumsy, which, if you mean to catch and carry it out, is the easy moment to do it. And a word on why you bother at all, beyond just disliking the sight of them, because there is one real reason, and it is worth knowing. The lizard itself is harmless and will not bite you unless you corner and frighten it, and even then it is nothing. But its droppings, the small dark pellets it leaves on your shelves and behind your things, are not clean, and where they fall on a kitchen surface or an open food, they can carry the same kind of germs any animal mess can. So the honest reason to keep them out of the kitchen in particular is not fear of the lizard but cleanliness around your food. Wipe up the droppings when you find them, with a cloth you then wash well, and keep the lizards hunting to the outside walls and the garden, not the shelf above your bread. So what do you do with the lizard that is already inside, tonight, on the wall, while you are still starving out the rest? You put it out, alive, without a fight. The simplest way, the way we have always used for any small creature we wish to move rather than harm, is to guide it. Turn off the lights in the room it is in, and open one window or door to the outside. And leave a light on just outside that opening. The insects will drift toward the outside light, and the lizard, following its food and the dark, will often make its own way out. If it will not, a large cardboard box or even a sheet of stiff paper and a soft broom will let you corner it gently, cover it, slide the paper under, and carry it outside to the garden or the wall, where it will happily go on eating the insects that would otherwise have come to find you. No harm done to it or to you. Let me say the part that is bigger than a lizard, because it is the same truth under all of this. Why are you sold the spray and the powder, and the man who comes every month, and never simply told to change your bulb and mend your screen and starve the insects? Because there is no money in the things that work. A warm bulb you buy once. A mended screen you fix once. A head of garlic costs almost nothing. None of these can be sold to you again next month. But the spray empties and is bought again. The powder runs out. The monthly pest contract renews and renews. And so there is endless money to keep you spraying at the lizard, the symptom, and no money at all in telling you to remove its food, which is the cause and which would end the problem for good. They keep you fighting the hunter forever, because the hunter keeps coming back, and the coming back is the business. Take away the prey instead, once, and you have nothing left to buy. That is exactly why no one selling anything will tell you to do it. A person who understands that the lizard follows the insect, and the insect follows the light, and the crumb, and the open water, that person fixes the cause once and is done, and is not sold a spray every month for a problem that was never about the lizard at all. That is the whole of it. My people never had a spray to buy, so we were never fooled into fighting the symptom. We watched what the creature actually wanted, and we took it away. And that habit of looking for the real cause is worth more than any bottle on any shelf. So here is what to do, in order, starting tonight. Change your outdoor bulbs to warm yellow and stop lighting the outside of the house all night so the insects stop gathering. Put proper sealed screens on your windows and doors and mend every tear to cut the food and the entry at once. Cover your food, wipe your crumbs, close your bin, and fix any leaking pipe or standing water because that is where the insects breed. Clear the clutter and pull the furniture off the walls so there are no dark corners left to hide in. Then spray your entry points and dark corners with garlic and onion water or peppermint and eucalyptus around the windows to push back the ones still trying. Try the eggshell and the feather if you wish, but do not count on them and do not scatter killing powders at all. And the lizard already inside, guide it out alive with a light and an open window or a box and a broom and put it in the garden where it will keep working for you from a polite distance. Do all of it and you will never see a lizard again, but you will go from a wall full of them to the rare visitor, and you will have done it for the price of a bulb and a head of garlic, once, instead of a spray every month forever. Then tell me below, where do you live, and is it the lizards that trouble you or the mosquitoes they were eating? Tell me what your house is like at night around the lights, because that, not the lizard, is where your answer is. I read everyone. Until then, starve the food, seal the gaps, change the light, and remember that the creature on your wall was working for you. And the smartest thing you can do is fix the real cause once, rather than fight the symptom forever.